See, the truth is that we're frequency, and we go through life tuning ourselves to different frequencies. And just like the radio, when you tune yourself to a certain frequency, you get what that frequency has to offer you. Welcome to the frequency that's all about turning you into a greater version of you. Welcome to the podcast that's offering you greater. You are now tuned into the Greater Existence Podcast with me, the Manifest Mentor, Brian Hyppolite. Your spirit is not even looking for answers to questions that you keep asking your mind. We live this life that is of lack and of limitation because we are living it through our minds. Now, we are mind, body, soul, energy. Mind, body, soul, and energy. The four components of your existence. We've lived lives that have allowed our mind and body to be the governing forces of our existence, when our soul and our vibration, our energy, are much more powerful forms and components of our existence. You're more vibration than you are body. And I don't think anyone would disagree that your soul would be connected to the spiritual source, whichever spiritual source you believe in. So why is it if our soul is connected to something greater and our energy, our vibrational existence is much greater than the physical existence, why is it that our physical existence gets much more attention? Why is it that our mind gets more attention than our soul? The answer is clear, is because that's the way that you were taught to live. But now that you have this consciousness, you have the ability to align yourself with something else. And you get the opportunity to get out of your mind and what I call get into your soul and start living a life where your soul is directing your life. Your soul is in the driver's seat of your life. Your soul is going to want you to go to different places, going to have different intentions for you, different desires, different connections, different everything. Now, I can hear you saying, I hear all this talk about opportunity and abundance, but in my life, I don't see it. These bills are real. The troubles are there. The tragedies have happened. And when I look around in my life, I don't see abundance, Brian. I don't feel abundant, Brian. So how do I connect with this abundance that you keep talking about? And I want you to know that you've been lied to. You've been lied to by those around you. You've been lied to by your feelings. You've been lied to by your conditioning, because you've been conditioned to need life to be going your way for you to be going your way. You've been conditioned to require circumstances and opportunities to be favorable for you in order for you to move favorably for you. That's not necessary. Again, your purpose and your power are much greater than your problems. In the moment that you stop being a victim to your situations, your circumstances, most of which you are creating on your own, perpetuating on your own, most of which you have the mentalities that keep these things cycling in your life, or you have the wrong behavior patterns that keep these things cycling in your life. You have the wrong belief system that keeps these things cycling in your life. It's so much easier to cry than it is to change, and it's easier to be frustrated and blame others than it is to take accountability for yourself. But I got a question for you. Are you willing to let go of every part of you that is not contributing to your elevation? That's the mandate. That's the starting line. Are you willing to let go of every part of you that is not contributing to your elevation? Are you willing to stop blaming others? Are you willing to let go of the judgments, of the shame, of the victimhood, of the unforgiveness? Are you willing to let go of every part of you that is not contributing to your elevation, not the parts of things and people that you want to be able to blame and hold responsible? Are you willing to let go of every part of you that's not contributing to your elevation? That's just like a water fast. You ever been on a water fast where as you drink this water and as you cleanse your body and your molecular structure begins to replenish itself and renew itself, your cravings change, certain desires change, certain things that you wanted then you don't even care for anymore. In the same way, some things you used to love it, but now when you smell it, you have no desire for it. As you withheld food from your body, it made it so much easier to not indulge and not engage in other things that weren't great for you. The discipline of just what you decided to put in your mouth gave you much more discipline in other areas of your life. In deciding that you are letting go of every part of you that is not contributing to your elevation is the same thing. It's just like a water cleanse. It's a vibrational cleanse. And as you begin to let go of every part of yourself that is not contributing to your elevation, you will let go of people, places, and things that are not contributing to your elevation. And you won't feel no ways about it. You won't continue to associate yourself with things that are not contributing to your elevation. The more that you see your value, the more you will stop seeing people who don't see your value. But it all starts with you. It all starts with your knowledge of self. Your knowledge of self is what creates the love of self. The love of self is what creates a respect of self. A respect of self is what creates the self-discipline. The self-discipline is going to bring you everything, bring you closer to everything that is great for you. But it starts with a knowledge of self. Our people perish from a lack of knowledge, more specifically from a lack of knowledge of self. Because when you don't know who you are, you don't know what you are. When you don't know what you are, you don't know what you are not. When you don't know who you are, you don't know who your enemies are. When you don't know who you are, you don't know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. When you don't know who you are, anyone can tell you who you are. You become what you feel. You become what your environment told you you are, you must be, or you're capable of being. Nothing binds you but your thoughts, and nothing limits you but your fears. It's a great day to become a version of you that is well aware of who you are and what you are. And that's greater than your problems, greater than your traumas, greater than your flaws, greater than your mistakes, greater than your slip-ups and your hiccups. But you have to acknowledge that. You got to believe that. You have to decide that you will no longer live a life tailor-made to your trauma. And that you're going to start living a life that shows you walking in the fullness of healing, happiness, and wholeness. There's things that you want to happen. There's things that you want to see in your outer world, but your outer world mirrors your inner world. In order for anything to exist, it must have begun internally. In order for that outward change to occur, the inward change has to happen first. So listen to me, family, whether we're referencing your mind, your relationships, or your household, the things that are done within will eventually make an outward appearance. So it's time to change our diet. It's time to change the things that we are feeding ourselves, not just our bodies, but our minds. Not just our minds, but our spirits. Not just our spirits, but our vibration. There's some things you know that aren't good for you because the vibration lets you know. The feeling within you lets you know. Pay attention. If you want to pay so much attention to your body, how come you don't pay attention when your gut is telling you that you're not making the right decisions? How come you got so much intuition when it comes to catching your partner doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, but you don't hear your intuition leading you away from those things that are not good for you? Greatest shall you be, greatest shall you do, and greatest shall you have. It starts with you recognizing that.